Hello and welcome to this episode of the Fabled Lands. We continue Carrick's journey now. Last week he managed to finish off that werebore quest that's been with us for so long, and he's now eager to move forward, and so that's exactly what we're going to do. Before we do that though, there's just two things I wanted to talk about. One was the dice, these wonderful dice of destiny. They roll crazy numbers. 7 statistically is the number that they are likely to roll 6 times out of 7. No, I'm lying. That they're likely to roll 1 in 6 times. You're supposed to get a 7 when you're rolling 2d6. However, when we get stuck in a loop like the one in the last video, I will go through each of the options as they come up, but I will not go through them more than once each. It's simply a case of it gets a bit boring to go in this infinite loop. So I'm very much aware of that. I apologize for it happening last week, but it was the first time that it had happened. So it's not going to happen again. We'll still use these dice. I like them. But we won't get stuck in those silly kinds of loops again. In the actual book and the actual playthrough, when you're on your own, it's okay to kind of cycle through those, because those can be deadly. They can actually kill your character if your character is simply not skilled enough. So that's point number 1. Point number 2 is I certainly have a lot more fun, or not more fun. I have a lot of fun when I am running these sessions live. So the question I put to you is, would you want to ever interact with Carrick Velast and have a live session with him rather than what we normally do, which is have new characters start up when we run different live sessions? Leave your thoughts below. Let me know. Do you want more live sessions, or are you happy to see these pre-recorded ones instead? It's a thought. I leave it in your hands. But for now, we return once again to the Fabled Lands. We are in the trading port on the little island of the Druids. The trading post is a small village set up here by enterprising settlers from the mainland. Its main export appears to be furs from the forest. The mayor, a fat, genial fellow who greets you personally, insists that one day the trading post will be a thriving town. There is not a lot yet here, however, and, except for a small market, a quay, the settlers' houses, and a shrine to Lacuna the huntress, goddess of nature. Well, we want to get to Yellowport as fast as we can, and we know that there's a certain shortcut which is on top of the hill. So we're going to go up that hill. A narrow path leads up the hill, the top of which is crowned with a circle of large obsidian standing stones, hewn from solid rock. Despite the bitter wind that blows across these hills, the stones are unweathered and seem to be newly lain. They form 3 archways, each carved with mystic symbols and runes of power. 65. There are 3 stone gates engraved with ancient runes. Each gate is marked with a name: Yellowport, Marlock City, and Wishport. From here you can see the coast and the whole of the island, which is heavily forested. Well, we want to go to Yellowport first, so page 8. You step through the archway. Immediately the symbols on the stone begin to glow with red-hot energy. Your hair stands on end and your body tingles. A crackling nimbus of blue-white force engulfs you. The sky darkens and thunder and lightning crash and leap across the heavens. Suddenly, your vision fades and everything goes black. When your sight returns, you find yourself at the gates of a large city set on an ochre-coloured river. A vile stink of brimstone permeates the air. You wrinkle your face up in disgust and gag involuntarily. "Oh, welcome to Yellowport," says a passing merchant, completely unfazed by the fact that you just stepped out of reality and appeared in front of him. Well, Yellowport is the 2nd largest city in Saqqara. It is mainly a trading town and is known for its exotic goods from distant Ancon Konu. We've been here many times before, and so we are well familiar with Yellowport. As a matter of fact, I think Carrick declares that Yellowport is his hometown. It's his home away from home, and to that end, we are going to buy a townhouse in Yellowport. It costs us 200 shards. So I'm just going to come in here, minus 200, and we now have a house in Yellowport. Oops, my caps lock must be on. or was on. What am I doing? Why won't it give me a capital H? Let's just try this one. No, capital H. Nope. That apparently is the capital H, whether we are in caps lock or not. So house, and we're going to say here Yellowport. We have finally purchased a house. Owning a house gives you a place to rest and to store equipment. If you buy one, put a tick by the townhouse option and cross off 200 shards from your adventure sheet. So we are going to visit our townhouse, which is page 300. Now that we have purchased property, we are landowners. You can leave possessions and money here to save having to carry them around with you. You can also rest here safely and recover any stamina points you may have lost. Well, you can record anything that you wish to leave in the box, and each time you return, roll 2 dice, and on a score of 2 to 9, your possessions are safe. 10 to 11, a thief has stolen something, all the money. On a 12, burglars have stolen all the possessions that we have left here. So I'm not going to leave a tremendous amount of valuable items here. I think we can... There was some suggestion of dropping off some equipment. So I think we're going to leave the regal helm of defense so that if we ever have an issue, we'll get that. I think we can leave the gem shard. Oh, I'm nervous because these are strange items, and sometimes they ask you for strange items. I think we can leave this treasure map. I don't think we need the treasure map anymore. We'll leave it here though, just in case. You never know. You never ever know. All right, the rest I think is pretty much okay. The Scroll of Ebron, I have no idea where we're going to use that. I think I'm going to keep it with us. All right, so that's what we've got here. I'm not going to leave any cash here, though. I don't think we need to leave any cash. We've got an invested amount of 500, so we can always come back to that. Now, there was some suggestion of returning to the sewers, and that was suggested by actually a very good friend of mine who I've role-played with for many, many years. He and I used to play Fabled Lands together quite a lot. Back in the day, and he watches the show all the way from Bonnie, South Africa, and he suggested that we go back into the sewers. Now, yes, maybe we should go back to the sewers. I don't know. I'm not even sure how we get back into the sewers, as a matter of fact. Market, Harbour Master, City by Night. No, I don't even know how we get into the sewers. So, sorry. Maybe it was a page number that one should have written down at some point, but I don't know how to do it. So, we said that we wanted to go all the way across the landscape and go and restore our honour at Castle Raven. So, that's where we're going to go. As far as I'm concerned, we're going to visit the Harbour Master, 555. There was some talk about trying to improve our scouting using money. So maybe we should go to the market first, 330. No, 30. What am I saying? 330. 30. The market is large and busy. At the corners of Brimston Plaza, gigantic braziers burn sweet-smelling incense in an attempt to overpower the rotten egg smell that permeates the whole city. There are many stalls and goods to choose from. You may buy any of the items listed as long as you have the money and space to carry it. You can also sell any items listed as well. So we wanted to try and improve our scouting. There is a compass +1, but it's 500 shards. That does seem like a lot of money. It does seem like a lot of money. But on the other hand, we said we wanted to do it, so we're going to do it. So compass... Scouting +1, and we come here, we go -500, and we go here +1. Well, there we go. It's done. Nope, it's done. All right. We could sell the treasure. We could sell the treasure map for 150, but we've left that in the house, and we don't really need the money. Let's be honest. At the moment, we don't need the money. Back to 10, and we're going to take a ship, I believe. Harbour Master 555. All shipping in and out of Yellowport must come through the offices of the Harbour Master. Here you can buy passage to far lands or even a ship of your own to fill with cargo and crew. You can buy one-way passage on a ship to the following destinations: Marlock City, the Isle of Druids, Sorcerer's Isle, or the Copper Isle. Well, we wanted to go as far as we could towards Castle Raven, which is here, as you can see my mouse just above my head. So Ringhorn is really where we want to get to, but Wishport is the... We can't even get to Wishport, we can only get to Marlock City. Now there was some suggestion that we go to Marlock City, or the Copper Isle, that's down here. I don't know why you'd want to go to the Copper Isle. So let's go to Marlock City. That's what the fates are telling us. It costs us 10 shards. Minus 10. And we're going to go to Marlock City, 150. You get a berth on a merchantman headed for Marlock City. It's a trouble-free journey. I pay everyone off. The Sakarans, the pirates, says the captain. That way I get left alone. You disembark in Marlock City. Marlock City is a huge, sprawling metropolis, enclosed in a fortified wall said to have been built 1,000 years ago by the ancient Shadar Empire. It is the capital city of Sakara. Marlock City was once known as Sokar until General Grieve Marlock led the army in bloody revolt against the old king, Corran VII, and had him executed. The general renamed the city after himself. It is now a crime to call it Sokar. The general lives in the old king's palace and calls himself the Protector General of all of Sakara. Whereas the old king was corrupt, the general rules with a fist of iron. Some people like the new regime, others are loyalists, still loyal to Nagaran, the heir to the throne who has gone into hiding somewhere. Outside the city gates hang the bodies of many dead people. Labels around their necks read, "Rebels, executed by the state for the good of the people." "You'd best behave yourself if you don't want to end up like one of them," grates the guardsman, nodding towards the swinging corpses as you pass through the great eagle-headed gates of Marlock City. You can buy a townhouse here. No, I've already got a house, thanks. We could visit the Three Rings Tavern. I think we should do that. Wet our whistles a little bit. 158. The Three Rings Tavern is a comfortable inn near the city centre. The tavern costs you a shard a day, and each day you spend here you can recover a stamina point if injured, up to your limit of your normal limit. This is on 1 because I didn't transcribe it properly when I was changing character sheets. We're now on character sheet version 3, I think, which is a wonderful, wonderful addition that our wonderful coder, Michael, has put together for us. But we can pay 3 shards and buy some drinks, so that's exactly what we're going to do. 3 shards to buy some drinks, because, well, you never know what you might hear. 147. An obador, which is an old troubadour, tells an epic tale of adventure and romance involving 3 heroes, a princess and a dragon. Afterwards, you find yourself talking to him at the bar. He tells you about the time he was captured by the man-beasts of Nerech, and by soothing their savage ferocity with music, he was able to escape. If you are a troubadour, turn to 469. Otherwise, turn to 100. Well, 469 because we happen to be a troubadour. What a chance to meet a troubadour at a tavern performing and entertaining for other troubadours. I mean, who'd have thought? It is what it is. 469. He tells you of his lifelong quest to find the greatest story ever told. Well, who isn't, mate? It is said that the god Sig in his aspect as the divine bard, passed this knowledge to a mystic called Damel the Hermit. He lives alone in a lost cave, awaiting the day when he can pass on the story to the one who finds him. Oh, I am too old now to pursue the quest, so I pass it on to you. I believe he can be found in the foothills of the Spire of Harkoon, the mountains to the north. If you find Damor, you will become a great troubadour. Acquire the Codeword Anthem. Well, if we didn't know what we were doing before, I think we know now. We're going to become a great troubadour, and besides, we were thinking about going up to those mountains anyway. Look at that. Foothills of the Spine of Harkoon. Well, the Spine of Harkoon is definitely to the north. You know what? I think we should. I definitely think we should. I'm so going to do that. You know, the castle and the paladins and getting our honour back is important. But wouldn't it be better if we got our honour back and had a great story to tell? Yes, it would. Now, Sig. He mentioned Sig. Okay, good. Oh, God, we've got this bloody problem, haven't we? Of Lacuna being our god. Because we needed... Oh, dear, oh, dear, oh, dear. 235. Let's go to the temple. 235. The Temple of Sig the Cunning, patron of vagabonds, troubadours, lovers, thieves and rogues, is a ramshackle warehouse in the poor quarter. Inside, however, there is so much wealth it makes you gasp. The idol of Sig, a saturnine, two-faced young human of indistinct sex, is covered in gems. As you can see, we've been made rich by generous donations, says a black-robed priest. Well, I think we should seek an audience with the high priest. I truly do. This is the church for us, I think. If you have the code word armor, nope. If not, but you are a rogue, nope. Otherwise, the high priest has little to say. Your audience is cut short. Become an initiate, 437. Probably have to drop the last one. Becoming an initiate of Sig gives you the benefit of paying less for blessings and other services. Also, you can add 1 to your thievery score, as Sig will watch over your pilfering activities and keep you safe from the law. It costs 50 shards to become an initiate, and you cannot become an initiate of Sig if you are an initiate of any other temple. If you choose to become an initiate, write Sig in the god box and pay the 50 shards. Well, Sig sounds like a pretty good one for me. Not that I'm a thief. I'm a troubadour. It says on the membership list, troubadours, not thieves. Well, thieves as well, but troubadours are not thieves. Much we might steal your heart. With a song, or a tune, or two, perhaps. Seek a blessing, 195. We collect those, and I never remembered to bloody well use them, 197. A blessing of Sig costs 10 shards, if you're initiate, 30 otherwise. If you buy the blessing, cross off the money and mark thievery in the blessings box. The blessing works by to reroll a thievery attempt. For 30 shards, I think that's worth it. That's good value for money, that is. It might be a thievery guild, but it's certainly not a daylight robbery at all. 30, that's nothing. I'm just being lazy. I should actually just type in 30. 30, there we go. Add it to our list. Roll thievery. Very nice. Very nice indeed. I like this Sig fellow. Yup. How do I get rid of Lacuna now? Yes. There's always something, isn't there? Visit the House of Priests. Well, that's an interesting one, isn't it? 535. House of Priests. 535. Maybe we can drop the... sort of just do like a general cleansing. The House of Priests is an impressive building, a round house of multicoloured bricks. The myriad colours give it a bizarre and garish look, calculated to unsettle the visitor. Inside, 100 officers teem with the administration of the polytheistic religion of Sokar and Golnir. If you're a priest, you can enter. If not, sod off. Well, it doesn't actually say sod off, but that's the impression I get. Well, so much for you. Visit the General's Palace. Do we want to get involved in something like that? I don't know. I don't know. We are here, 601. Let's just go and have a... I mean, it's nice to have a look. We can, take an illustration in or something to remember the moment. The palace, the home of Protector General Grieve Marlock, is an imposing building of astonishing luxury. You get as far as a huge reception area manned by many guards and staffed by government officials. If you're the title Protector of Sakara, turn there. If not, well... the tour is over. You may return to the city at your leisure. And your leisure is now. Well, so be it. So be it. I get it. I understand. We are not welcome here. So we will journey into the Cursed Moor as we continue our way north to get to the Spine of Harkoon, where I'm fairly certain we will be welcomed. Yes, we will be welcomed. 175. War-torn Kingdoms, 175. If there is a tick in the box, turn to 673. You are trekking across the aptly named Cursed Moor. A great rolling expanse of blasted heath stretches before you. Grey clouds hang over a mournful, dirty, water-coloured plain, studded with rocky outcrops and low hills. I remember this place. Rather miserable, if you ask me. Oh, well, there we go. Double six. We only had to roll one die, but we got double six anyway. So you find 10 shards and an old skeleton. I won't say no to that, thank you very much. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I should have done it the other way around, and it's probably wrong, and I'll get shouted at for bad maths, but yes, that's what it is. 560. You are crossing the western wilderness, an expanse of wild, sparsely populated countryside. A few trappers and woodsmen make a living from the natural resources of the area. A tall spire of rock, a towering anomaly of geology, rises up into the clouds, dominating the horizon. A local hunter tells you it is known as Devil's Peak, and that the summit is infested with demons. Oh, well, that's just nonsense. I'll prove it. I'll prove it. I'll prove that it is nonsense. I will climb the peak. My scouting is okay, and we have climbing gear, so I will climb this peak. No demons at the top. What poppycock? 658. Nonsense. Demons at the top. Just watch. Just watch. Here, hold my beer. Famous last words of Carrick Velast. You are standing at the bottom of the Devil's Peak. It is a massive tower of black rock, like a stone tree trunk, bare and branchless, climbing up into the sky. You cannot see the top, for it is shrouded in grey mists. Thunder and lightning play about the clouded summit. The sides of the peak are almost sheer, but there are many hand and footholds. It can be climbed, but only if you have some climbing gear. If you have and you want to make the ascent, turn to 340. It strikes me that this might not be the greatest of ideas ever, but, well, I'm a troubadour. I don't have to have good ideas, do I? 4. All right, well, make a scouting or thievery roll at difficulty of 10. Well, we failed that one miserably, didn't we? Hopefully we haven't got too far up. You can only make it up 50 feet. You can only make it 50 foot up the sheer rock face before you lose your footing and fall to the ground. Lose 4 stamina points. If you're still alive, turn to 658, where you can try again. 658. Not auspicious. I was testing the strength of our rope. That's what I was doing. I was testing the strength of the rope. So it's pretty damned strong. So we'll try that again. Because we can. 6 plus 5 is 11, which is a successful roll. 2, 3, 9. See, I told you, just testing the rope. Just testing the rope. The climb is long and hard, but at last you heave yourself up onto the top of the Devil's Peak. A flat expanse of weathered black rock. You give the code word altitude. Nope. Turn there. If not, turn to 199. If there is a tick in the box, turn. If not, put a tick there now and read on. Okay, plus, and that is 2. Oh, no, we're not in 2 yet. We're still in 1. 1 war-torn kingdoms. 199. A strange, vaguely humanoid shape, flickering with energy, soars down to attack you. You must fight. The Storm Demon has a combat of 3, defense of 6 and stamina of 8. You're not a demon, you're an imp. You are an imp. Now I say to you, sir, have at you. Bang! 9 plus 8. Oh dear, 17. We decapitate this poor little imp before it even knows what's happening. If you win, it fades away, leaving a clear blue jewel worth 200 shards. Well, I'll take a blue jewel. Thank you very much. If you are still alive, there's nothing else up here, so you can climb back down again. 658. I told you. Well, it's not exactly infested with demons. It was a little imp that's no more. Poor little thing. I shouldn't laugh, but wow, it didn't have much hope. Let's head north into the forest of Laroon, 47. We're not so afraid of scout. Well, we should be, actually. 4 is not that very high. We'll go into the forest of Laroon, 47. Or should we just follow the river north? Let's follow the river north. That's safer. I'm still nervous about forests. 99. You are on the east bank of the Grim River, a great, powerful river which rushes past towards the sea. You can travel to Golnir from here. Well, no, we want to just follow the river north. Thank you very much. 333. You are on the east bank of the Grim River. We have to roll a single dice. Bing. Get a 2. A water sprite curses you. Lose a blessing if you have one. Well, that's ironic. You lose the first one. Oh, there was my... I've lost the scouting one because I didn't use it when we were climbing up the silly mountain. I get very irritated with myself when that happens. Trust me. Follow the river north. 1, 2, 3. Well, that was a nasty little sprite. It was probably the sister of the bugger that I killed on top of the mountain. This is the east bank of the Grim River, near its source in the spine of Harkoon far to the north. You reach a ford where you can travel to the west bank for a shard. You could try swimming across instead, but the current is strong. You need to make a scouting roll to do so. No, we are looking for a hermit in these mountains. Thank you very much. We will find them. We could, so we're going to go north to the mountains, page 3. You have come to the foothills of the spine of Harkoon in the northwest of Saqqara. The view is impressive. A massive wall of forested mountains whose rocky white-flanked peaks soar skywards into the clouds. These parts of the mountains are unclimbable, but you notice a large cave at the bottom of a mountain. Ha ha! Success? Really? Investigate the cave. 665. I would have thought we'd have to wander around for days to find this hermit. Apparently he lives in quite a remarkable spot. You enter the cave. It is large and dark. Unfortunately, it is the lair of a pack of wolves. A very big pack of wolves. If you have a wolf pelt, turn to there. If not, turn to there. No wolf pelt, 280. There are too many wolves to contend with. You withdraw before they get angry. Well, I was looking forward to making a carpet for my new house, but still, go east to the citadel of Velis Corin, 271. Seems the hermit is not to be found. At least not here, anyway. 271. You arrive at the Pass of Eagles. A thin chasm sliced right through the spine of Harkoon, as if Ternai himself had split the mountains with his sword. A vast citadel has been built right across the southern end of the pass, bottling it up so that none can travel into Saqqara without passing through the castle. Its white walls and flag-topped towers shine brightly in the sunlight. We could enter the citadels, we could go to the western foothills or to the eastern foothills, we could turn south and head for Karanbaru, or take the road to Fort Merith. I think we want to go to the eastern foothills. We've just come from the western foothills, and although there is that cave with the wolf pelt, I don't know. We don't have a wolf pelt. Do you think we can buy one, maybe? Let's go to the west first. So let's go to the east first. Sorry, 244. You always come back looking for this hermit. 244. You have come to the foothills of the spine of Harkoon. The great mountains rise up majestically before you, their snow-capped peaks wreathed in clouds. You find a clear, cold stream where you drink your fill and replenish your water supply. Climb upwards, head south, head east to Disaster Bay, or west to the citadel. I suppose climb upwards, 536. 536. If you have some climbing gear, turn to 628. We've got climbing gear. We're experienced mountaineers. We are. We don't mickey about. We know how to climb up a mountain. After a hard climb, you are halfway up the side of a mountain when you discover a thin, precarious path leading up. The sun beats down and you are sweating heavily. Oh, don't tell me. You take a swig of water from your canteen and proceed up the path. Well, it's not a canteen. And it's not water, it's tea, but close enough. After a while, you have to stop to take more water. To your horror, your water supply has turned sour and undrinkable. What manner of sorcery is this? To turn a man's water sour. Right, make a magic check at difficulty 10. Well, we rolled a 4 plus our 7 gives us 11, so that is a pass. 374. You sense that sorcery is afoot. No. You make a few magical divinations which tell you that the path is cursed. It will sour the water supply of anyone that travels upon it. However, you can tell the curse only affects the path. There is just enough room to squeeze your way up beside it, hugging the rock face. You find your water returns to a state that is drinkable. Eventually, the path leads to a bubbling well of spring water in the rocks, just at the opening of a cave. You refill your canteen and then explore the cave. 232. If there is a tick in the box, turn. If not, put a tick there and read now. 232. One war-torn kingdom. 232. The interior of the cave is cool and refreshing, a paradise compared with the savage heat of your grueling climb. You find a man floating cross-legged in the middle of the air. He is dressed only in a loincloth and is painfully thin. His face is shrouded in a great luxuriant growth of glossy black hair, a beard like no other you have ever seen. Don't know about that. At the sight of you, he gives an exasperated sigh and says, "I am Demeo the hermit." "A hermit! That means I like to live alone. Got that? Alone. So go away." "I nearly died getting here, old man," you reply testily. "Yes. You'd have to be pretty tough to get through the curse I put on the path, I suppose," he says, somewhat apologetically. If you have the code word Anthem, turn to 285, otherwise turn to 480. Well, we do have the code word Anthem, 285. You remember a bard in a tavern told you about Demeo the hermit, and that he knew the secret of the greatest story ever told. So you ask him about it. "Ah," says Demeo, "I have waited for one such as you." He tells you the secret of the greatest story. "Well, my young adventurer, destiny beckons, for it is fated that your life will be the greatest story ever told." As you consider this, you feel a sense of momentary enlightenment. Gain 1 rank and roll a die. Huzzah! No, a die. A die. 6 on to 2. What a pity. 2. The number is the result of permanently added stamina points. 2. Well, that wasn't brilliant, was it? "Right. That's that," says Demeo. "Now, go away and don't come back." For a few hours, he lifts the curse that soured your water, so you can make it down again safely. Wait, the greatest story ever told is my story? Carrick the Last? Me? I haven't done very much. I've sort of wandered around, got beaten up. Sure, I let go of that little flying mannequin thing. And I suppose there was the journey through the forest and the defeating of the werebore, but there was that unfortunate incident with the paladins at that castle. Well, maybe we should go back there and make amends. If this is going to be the greatest story ever, I'm going to be a hero. Well, I'm going to be a hero. Not someone who skulks about accusing people incorrectly. I didn't know. I'm the greatest story ever told. I don't. He's got it wrong. That's what it is. It's been too much time drinking his own poisoned water, if you ask me. Oh, well, let's go and have a look at Disaster Bay anyway, because it sounds interesting. 495. We're here now. I need to contemplate this change, this thing. You arrive at Disaster Bay, where you find a community of fishermen. Judging by their wealth, they also make a living by other means. You suspect by looting the ships that get wrecked in the stormy waters off the bay. A man offers to take you by boat safely through the bay and north to the port of Yarimura on the Great Steps. It will cost you 50 shards. No real reason to go into the Great Howling Plains just yet. Would a hero really run away from his troubles? Can't say a hero would rarely, not if I'm honest. I don't like being a hero. Maybe we can go to Fort Merith, do some... Oh, that's the Neretchian people. Woe betide me. Why did that hermit have to tell me that I was going to be a hero? Now I don't know what to do. Well, let's head for the road, I suppose, and the road will take us to... Well, it won't take us anywhere useful. That's certain. Yarimura certainly sounds interesting. For 50 shards, that's a lot of money. I am wounded. Maybe from there we can get a ship and sail south. Let's do it. But maybe we shouldn't. Oh, I don't know. No, I'm going to the fort. 299. Perhaps there's something there that I don't know. Fort Merith, named after an ancient hero, is the northernmost of the forts that guard Saqqara from the ravening man-beasts of Nerech. A fortified wall stretches right across the peninsula. Roll a die. A 1. You get into a fight with a drunken soldier. Combat 4, defense 6, stamina 7. If you win, you can take his axe. I don't want to fight you, All right, you asked for it. Back of the sword, non-lethal damage. 16. Versus a defense of 6. He's knocked unconscious. And you can keep your axe, you idiot. What a fool. Right, well, we can go east into Nerech. No, we didn't come... We didn't... Oh, we are here. Does seem like an opportunity, doesn't it? All right, let's go east into Nerech. Have a little bit of a look. Sorry, I've got to get the book. I didn't think we were going to go this far north. Who knew about the Hermit? I didn't know about the Hermit. Page 20. The guards at the fort think you are mad to enter the land of Nerech. Goodbye, then, one of them says. Forever? The others laugh cruelly as they open the gates. Well, you're not very nice people. I'll have you know, I'm going to be famous. Nerech is a barren peninsula of wind-blasted rolling heathland. The sky is a dismal grey. A lone crow circles overhead, cawing mournfully. Wind blasts wild cliffs that overlook the sea. Inland, you can see a tall hill in the distance. Head for the hill or climb down to the shoreline. Let's go to the shoreline first. 688. A passing merchantman spots you on the shore. They think you've been marooned and send a small boat to pick you up. The captain offers to take you to Yarimura in the north. Hitch the lift or climb up the cliff. The gods have spoken. Lacuna wants us to go to Yarimura, and who are we to say no? 10. All right, we'll go. Yarimura is a young city. Its buildings are finely constructed houses of wood and stone with pagoda-styled roofs. The clan of the White Spear, exiles from the east, rules the city. 100 years ago, civil war raged in Akatsurai. The clan was forced to flee in its ships to the west. Unable to find refuge in Saqqara, the clan founded Yarimura. The clan's fiercely loyal samurai warriors easily suppressing the local nomadic tribes. The current daimyo, the chief of the clan, is Lord Kumonoso. He dreams of the day he will return to Akatsurai as shogun of the empire. Yarimura's streets and plazas are cosmopolitan indeed. Finely dressed samurai swagger and strut alongside nomad traders from the plains and merchants and mercenaries from Saqqara and Golnir. This is a city where east meets west. The clan of the White Spear, however, governs it with a rod of iron. Yarimura is in a perpetual state of readiness for war, as the armies and fleets of Akatsurai constantly seek to seize the city for the Empire. You can buy a townhouse in Yarimura for 150 shards. Given the fact that it's constantly under threat of invasion, I don't think so. To leave Yarimura by sea, or to buy and sell ships, visit the harbour master at the sea barrier. To buy or sell cargo, visit the silk market. Tambu, the great spirit of the plains people, has a temple here. The invaders, however, have brought the religion of Akatsurai with them. Their temples can be found in the plaza of the new gods. Well, right. Well, we're in a completely strange place. I mean, it's a wonderful space to be in. I think we should just start. Well, I think we should start by exploring the south sector, 77. Maybe we should start by being healed. There's got to be a no. Thieves' Kitchen, Tower of Bacan, Merchants Guild, Silk Market, Harbour Master of Horse City. I don't see of any place to recuperate health. Well, let's go to the south sector then. I mean, it's ruled with an iron fist. The south sector is a part of the city given over to visitors to the city. It is known as the Gaijin Quarter. Sorry, the Foreigners' Quarter. If you have the code word Dirk, turn there. If not, read on. Ah, you find an inn called the Nomad's Rest. 542. This is my kind of town. 542. The Nomad's Rest costs you 1 shard a day. Each day you spend here, you can recover a stamina point of injured up to the limit of your normal unwounded stamina score. You hear a fireside tale about a tomb robber who tried his luck at looting the City of Ruins, an ancient Shadar capital. He carried a flag or banner of the Shadar, and this was some protection, but not enough, for he was driven quite mad by the gibbering ghosts that are said to inhabit the ruin. Well, that's interesting. I'm not going to go there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 coins that we need to spend to recover up to full. There we go. And back to 10. That was the south sector. Do we go to the Daimyo's palace? Why not? Always worth a look. Pay someone to do a nice little illustration of us standing outside, holding the pagoda up in the right angle, of course. The Daimyo's palace rises up from the centre of Yarimura, straddling it like a colossus, lord of its domain. It is built in the Akatsurian style, with massive walls and towers, more a fort than a palace. If you have the code word Dare and do not have the title Nightwalker, turn there, otherwise turn to 665. Nightwalker, that sounds quite fun. 665. If you have the title Hatamoto, turn to 256, otherwise read on. You are turned away from the palace gates. Only members of the White Spear clan are allowed within. Yeah, I get it. I get it. No gawking, no, nothing. Well, then we're going to the Thieves' Kitchen, 182, because I can hardly believe that there'd be thieves there, given the nature of this town. Thieves' Kitchen is the most undesirable area of town. The scum of the plains have made this their home, along with dishonoured samurai and exiles from Saqqara, Golnir and Utaku. It is a ramshackle collection of huts, taverns and houses that are more like stockades than homes. The streets are dark and dingy. Beggars and cut purses infest every doorway and alley. They do they? Yes, well... Even the city patrol does not come here. It is said the local thieves guild, called the Brotherhood of the Night, pays off the lord of the city with a fat fee to leave its members alone. Visit a tavern or explore the streets. Let's visit a tavern, 574. I'm not a thief, I'm a hero, but sometimes you need to understand where you're at. You know what I'm saying? You wander into the Severed Hand Inn. Many of the patrons do indeed seem to have lost their hands, a common punishment for theft in the city. It goes quiet when you enter, but everyone quickly returns to their business. People sit huddled in the shadowy corners of the inn, talking in low tones. Approach some locals or leave the tavern. Well, we came here to find out information, and I am a very approachable bard. I'm going to have the greatest story ever told one day. If there is a tick in the box, turn there. If not, put a tick in the box and turn there now. All right, so we are in the Plains of Howling Darkness. It's the first entry we get to add here. So for Howling Darkness, 63. Look at that. That's exciting. At a table in a shadowed corner, two people are talking. One is a short, disreputable-looking fellow, a nomad of the plains, judging by his looks. The other is a large, fat, red-faced woman. You walk over and introduce yourself. They react with astonishment at your temerity, and the man reaches for a long dagger at his belt. Make a charisma roll. Add 1 to the roll if you're a rogue by profession, and you can add another 1 if you're the title Nightwalker. Or add nothing if you don't have either of those. We don't get to make any re-rolled charisma checks. Really? That's the one that we don't have? 7, 10, 11. Our difficulty that we were aiming for was 14, so 109. You try some streetwise banter, but you succeed only in offending them. "If it's trouble you want, then that's what you'll get," yells the man. He tips up the table and draws a long barbed knife. The woman backs away. You must fight. Combat 7, defense 6, stamina 11. I don't want to fight you. I just came to talk. That's 5 plus combat of 8 is 13 versus his defense of 6. Yeah, all right, we can go with that. Okay, so that's his defense of 6. So from 13 from 6 is 7. All right, so he has a grand total of 4 stamina points left. All right, now he attacks me. Noble one. Ha ha ha. 9 versus my defense of much, much more. I take nothing. I return the favor, apparently very badly as well, getting an 11, which over his defense of 6 is still enough to dispatch him. If you win, 195. At least the guards aren't going to come running. He falls at your feet. The other customers have been watching the fight, but once it is over, they turn back to their drinks, unconcerned. Life is cheap in Thieves' Kitchen. The fat woman has disappeared, but you find 12 shards on the body of the nomad. A group of nomads starts watching you with unfriendly eyes. It is time to leave. 12 shards. That's the cost of his life. How am I supposed to be a hero now? Oh, bother. The Tower of Bacan, I suppose, is next. 199. Hero indeed. The Tower of Bacan is a tall, forbidding structure. You knock on the gargoyle-adorned doors and are shown in to a dark, shadowy room. You sit at a table, at the far end of which squats a misshapen form, wreathed in voluminous robes and indistinct in the darkness. "I am Bacan," rasps a voice. As you watch, the robes begin to shift and rustle, as if changing shape. After a few minutes, the voice speaks again, sounding quite different this time. "I have been cursed. Every hour my form changes at random into hideous shapes and creatures that would blight your soul if you were to look upon them. But do not fear, for I will not hurt you." Bacan has searched for ways to deal with curses for many years. If you are cursed, such as the curse of Shadar, Bacan can remove it for you, but it will cost you 100 shards. You are a brave sort, Bacan croaks. I need a witch's hand and some parrot fungus if I am to lift my own curse. Bring me these things, and I will reward you. If you have a witch's hand and some parrot fungus, go there, otherwise not. Well, let's make a note. Find the key of stars. We want a witch's hand and parrot fungus Tower of Bacan for Howling Darkness. Yarimura. And I forgot to change the map. Oops. No. No. There it is there. So there is Yarimura just above my... Let me get out of the way. There's Yarimura just above my head. A big sprawling city. Well, we don't have any of those things, you crazy old weird shape-shifting thing, so good luck. Merchants Guild, no. Silk Market, 252. Oh, and this is just where you can buy things. Okay, that's great. We're not going to do anything there. The Horse Market, 231. Oh, this is where they sell interesting things. We can buy Splint Armor of Defense +4, but ours is better. We could buy Scouting Compass of +1. We could buy a Wolf Pelt for 100 shards. We needed that for a cave, but I don't think it's worth it, 100 shards. Oh, I don't think so. Flute, give us +1 charisma. No, we've got the mandolin of +1 charisma, so we're right there. Okay, there's nothing left for us to do but to decide on our next course of action. Well, I suppose that would be to leave the city. And that's where we're going to end off today. You tell me, where do we go? Do we go to Castle Wavern all the way down south? Do we do that? Do we go there? Or do we go elsewhere? What do we do? What do we do? You tell me. Leave your comments below. Let's see where we go. And remember, if you prefer me to do this live, well, leave that below as well. Because I quite enjoy doing it live, if I have to be honest with you. It's a lot more engaging, I suppose you could say. It's also a lot deadlier. Carrick seems to be able to survive a little bit better when he's on his own. Anyway, until next time, a big thank you to Michael Helvenstein for putting together this interface that we're using, and it's constantly being tweaked and updated and upgraded. And a bigger thank you to you for watching the show every week and for giving us your comments. And until next time, I wish you and yours the very happiest of adventuring in the Fabled Lands.